don't underestimate anybody, no matter what disability they have. It's always good to ask questions first and assume later.
Hi, community. Welcome. I am Tonya Whitlock, the founder of the Hive Inclusive Community nonprofit. Thank you so much for joining us for another conversation on talking inclusivity with the Hive. Today, we are super excited to have Z'leah Liburd. Okay, she is a visually impaired Master of Social Work student at USF. She began her advocacy journey in 2021 at the National Federation for the Blind in Washington seminar, where she worked as a champion for the rights of blind Americans while also nurturing her love of music. We actually met Zaleah when she was practicing her love of music. We met at the Mayor's Alliance on Disability Awards Luncheon here in Tampa. And Zaleah sang the national anthem, and she sang absolutely beautifully. And so I knew I had to like go up to her and meet and find out more about her. And so welcome, Zaleah.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And I did pronounce your last name right, right?
Library.
Okay, I totally messed it up.
You're
Liburd.
good.
Okay. So Z'leah Liburd.
Mhm.
Um, so we're gonna just jump in because I am known for going way over time and talking too much. So we're just gonna jump right into questions. You have been involved in advocacy since 2021. What initially like sparked your passion for disability rights?
Uh, so, like Tanya said, I am visually impaired, so all of my life I have been dealing with the battle of accessibility or just like inclusion as a whole. And so in 2020, I graduated from the Florida School for the Deaf and the Blind in St. Augustine, Florida, and was awarded my first National Federation of the Blind of Florida scholarship. I've never heard of National Federation of the Blind before this, but after receiving the scholarship, I learned that it is the largest organization ran by for and by blind people. Um, and so they are one of the biggest organizations dedicated to advocating for blind rights. So through them, I think I found my love for advocating. I think I was always in interested in helping others in any way that I could, but when I found that I could actually do that on a bigger scale, I was all for it.
Yeah. So what were some of the early challenges you faced in being blind?
Uh, so number one being accessibility in different regards, whether it's been, um, I don't know, maybe not having Braille on all of the signs in public spaces, or not having the proper accommodations when you go to different presentations, like having it electronic or in larger fonts or even in Braille. Um, I guess another thing would be just feeling included by the sighted community as a whole. Sometimes when they look at blind people, it's, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you. I feel bad that you're going through this," but never us as like a person. Like we have vision problems, but that's it. Like we do everything else that you can do. So I guess just the underestimation and accessibility is like my two biggest things that I've faced.
Yeah. No, that's good. So you're going through schooling, and I'm sorry, this isn't one of the questions I sent you, but
You're good.
also this also happens that things just spark off as you talk. So right now you're at USF in the master's program. Do you live independently?
I do not. I'm with my mom and my sister.
Okay. And as far as the USF program, um, are you utilizing accessibility features? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you are. Oftentimes we get questions about like what is a great college to go to when there are accessibility needs, and how well do they accommodate things like that. So what's been your experience with USF?
So I've been at USF for this is my master, so it's gonna be 3 years now. My experience has been relatively well. I'm pretty sure that well, I know I'm not the first or the last blind person to go through USF. So, like everything else, they have like little improvements that they need to work on, but it's all up to us as the person with a disability to kind of bring it to their attention. Um, they have a they have one of the best accommodations departments. Um, and so they will transform maybe some graphs that I needed for my math class into tactile graphics or braille so that I can actually feel it versus having to struggle with, seeing it on my own. They have what's called the Bull Runner, which is like a shuttle that takes you to different places around campus. And so they've incorporated turning on or remembering to turn on their announcements so you know which stop is which bus is coming. They also have like a text feature that works for everyone. It's not just for disabled, but you text the stop number to this number, and it'll let you know all the buses that are coming and the times so that be outside. The professors that I've had so far have been really accommodating as well. They always honor the accommodations that we provide to the department, and that sends it out to them. And so everyone, for the most part, has been welcoming and accommodating.
That's awesome. Um, so going back to your times of advocacy, can you share a specific experience from the National Federation of the Blind seminar that you went to that significantly shaped your understanding of advocacy or even your approach to it?
So I was actually in DC maybe 2 weeks ago. It was the first week in February. And so there we were able to present on three bills that we think or feel as blind individuals should be passed in the 119th Congress. Um, so every the National Federation of the Blind is um, like I said, it's large. So we have all 50 states and Puerto Rico. And so we tried to target to get every state to attend these seminars. Um, we usually have about maybe 4 to 5, maybe 600 people that attend every year. And then within Florida, we have our uh, 28 representatives that we meet, the two senators and the rest are congresswomen and men. So we divide into four teams or five maybe, north, south, east, and west. Four. We just divide into four teams, and we get to tackle making our congressional appointments and meeting with our congressperson. This year, I was our first team lead for the west side um, of Florida, so I was able to email the staffers and set up the appointments, um, get my team together, and we went out to the Hill. Um, did that answer your question? I feel
Yeah.
like
Well, and so really the seminar that you're going to, it's created to teach you to advocate, right?
Mhm,
So to teach you
correct.
to wow, that's fantastic. Um, so in the times that you were there in I think we said 2021 and even in this time that you were there, um, what was there any moments that um significantly shaped how you wanted to advocate or even just made you feel so steadfast in the fact that this is what you were called to do, like this is what you needed to do?
Definitely. So I guess we can go back to 2021. That was my first time doing the Washington seminar, and that was online due to COVID still. And we went through the same process of, dividing into different teams, reaching out to our congress person within our districts. And at the time, it was Kathy Castor in District 14. Um, we had set up a Zoom meeting with her, so all of the delegation was on the Zoom call talking to her about different bills. At that time, I was presenting on the Websites and Software Applications Accessibility Act, which is an act trying to implement websites and applications to be more accessible for the blind. And I told her the story about when I first started my associates and how my math class is so inaccessible that I needed to have someone basically do the work for me. Obviously using my words and whatnot, but it was like super debilitating and it kind of hindered my independence as a person. And so from there, her and I actually connect or formed like a great relationship to where in years to come, they would whenever we tried to schedule, there was one point where she was like, "Well, I will book with you, but only if Zaleah is there." And so I was like, "Wow, I had that much of an impact on this person that um, she won't meet with the rest of us unless I'm there."
That's
And
awesome.
I
And
know that this year, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to disclose this, but she's considering signing on to all of the bills that we presented on. So
wow,
that was really awesome. So I guess stuff like that, having the power to um, you know having the power to bring awareness to the blind initiatives that we have, and having supportive people like Kathy Castor and our other congressmen and women that's in Florida sign on to our bills.
that's amazing. And yeah, that's the word I'm getting is just powerful, right? Being able
Hmm.
to utilize your story and um, the things that have hindered you uh, to our leaders, and to have them respond so positively, and knowing that you are taking part in making things better for blind people all over America. That's amazing. Um, so again, you're getting your master's in social work. You're working in advocacy. I know also that you have a strong passion in music, and you're working in the music arena. Like, how do you balance your academic pursuits and with your advocacy and everything else that you're doing?
That's a great question. On days it feels like I'm going crazy, because I have like so many different things going on, and other days it feels like um, like it's an ease. Um, I I do it because I love it, so I don't really know how I balance it. It just kind of falls into place. I guess a lot of time management would be my go-to. Right now I have like two in-person classes and the rest online. So I told myself like Tuesdays and Thursdays is homework and classes, and then Monday and Wednesday is more homework, and Friday is like NFB or advocacy stuff. So I just kind of delegate my days.
That's good. So again, I mentioned that we met you because we heard you sing the national anthem, and you
Mhm.
sang us. It was so beautiful. Um, how exactly does music play a role in your life right now?
How can you repeat the question one more time? How does music play a role in my life?
Yeah,
Um, Ever since I was 9 is when I was 9 is when I actually started to sing. It was at a family uh reunion actually. My dad kind of is the one who introduced me to the singing arena, and so we actually did like a competition between like all of the siblings and stuff like that, and I ended up winning the competition. So I feel like that was like the biggest boost. Like, yeah, I won against my dad and everyone else. I can do this. And so that was kind of where that took off. From there, I feel like music has just been like a therapeutic thing for me. Anytime I'm sad or I'm frustrated or anxious, I just listen to music and we're good from there. I watch like American Idol and The Voice and stuff like that. And I'm like, dang, I want to be on stage like that one day. So I don't know, just stuff like that just kind of pushed me to, keep going and singing.
yeah, that's so
But
good.
definitely therapeutic is the word I would use to describe like the impact it has on my life.
Yeah.
My sisters and like um family members are always like, oh, she's always singing. But yeah, because it calms me.
I love that. And I can't tell you how many people, I mean, we haven't done a ton of podcasts yet. We're still kind of new in here. But I feel like almost every person has mentioned music in some way, and how it is, it is soothing, and it helps you with your emotions. And
Hmm.
so, but to be able to sing and be really good at it is a whole nother level of utilizing that. So
Yeah.
is there any ways that you are able to connect your music with your advocacy work?
Um, I feel like it could work. Maybe I dabble a little bit in songwriting. I'm not like the best at it. Like I kind of do it here and there, kind of a therapeutic thing as well. Like if I'm stressed out or I don't know, I'm just bored and I want to do something and like a good beat or lyrics some or like a word someone says come to mind like, oh, that'd be a good song. So maybe like writing a song relating to advocacy could work. I know
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of them out there from like back in the day. And so I don't know, maybe one day I'll write a song about advocacy.
I think that that's a great idea, and you're right, a beautiful way to connect your day to day life, telling your story through music, right? And you said, like you said, it's back in the day. Like we definitely need some songwriters for now, and so maybe the world is waiting on you, to Zaleah, to get that started.
Maybe.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about visual impairment?
The biggest misconception is people doubting our abilities. Like I said before, it would be I don't know, like kids are mean, right? So I was born with retinitis pigmentosa. Since I was 2, I would guess I was diagnosed with it. And so it would be like, how many fingers am I holding up? Like, really? Since, blindness is a spectrum, I have some vision. So on occasion, it'll be that, I'm just navigating or doing my own thing so well that people are like, are you actually blind or are you faking it? Like, why would I
Mhm.
fake that? Just like doing simple things in general. Like USF has a path that has the bull statue, but it's like in a little pond slash like a pretty water area. And sometimes when I'm walking with my white cane, I'll put it in the water. I don't know, just I don't know why I do it, but there's been times where people like run over and be like, "Oh my gosh, don't fall in!" Like I'm okay. Like I understand like them trying to be nice about it and trying to make sure I don't like die. But I, at the same time, like I know, how I'm working my cane. And so that's what it's there for, is for me not to fall in. Um, Stuff like that. Employment is like the biggest thing though, is that I would say is for some people, once they see that you're blind, it's kind of like, well, can you really do this? Can you really like I don't know, it's kind of like a people get scared instead of trying to accommodate. For my bachelor's, I was seeking a internship, and I just had a passion and a love for home visits. Like I just thought that was so cool. Like I always wanted to do one. And one of the organizations I reached out to, I said, like, I know that I can't drive to get to the home visits, but is there any way that I can like partner up with someone? And they basically said no, and then they rejected me from being at that organization. Um, Thankfully, thanks to like USF staff and just us being persistent, we found another organization that um, was able to give me not only like a at-home base assignment, but they also allowed me to go on multiple home visits, doing the same thing I basically asked for. Like, is there any way I can partner with a fellow employee or I don't know, another intern that might be there? And so I was able to experience just a whole realm of things. I got to do home visits. I got to do some of the other like home base stuff. So I really appreciate that aspect of things.
Yeah. No, we absolutely talk quite a bit about accessibility in the workplace, and
Mhm.
ways to advocate for yourself to be able to, have those moments and work in those spaces that you know that you are qualified to be able to work in. And so that's so good that they were able to work with you, and make that happen. So what are some of the key issues overall, do you think, that are facing the disability community today?
That is a very interesting question. There's a lot happening right now, believe it or not. Um, so Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 is a um, it's a federal law that ensures that people with disabilities are protected from discrimination by any entity that receives federal funding, like schools, hospitals, public programs. It plays a crucial role in um, guaranteeing equal access and accommodations for disabled individuals, including blind people, and others with other disabilities. Right now, though, there is a lawsuit called Texas Visera, where 17 states, including Florida, um, I believe the states were Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Missouri, so forth, so on. There's a bunch of them. Um, they're suing the federal government for um, they're suing the government over a new regulation that adds gender dysphoria to the definition of disability under the 504 um, and the Americans with Disabilities Act ADA. Um, so these states argue that uh, this addition makes Section 504 unconstitutional, which is alarming because if successful, the lawsuit could weaken or even dismantle key disability protections. Um, this case isn't just about gender dysphoria, but it puts the broader protections of 504 at risk. If the lawsuit succeeds, um, it could strip away critical rights for disabled individuals, making it easier for schools, hospitals, and other federal funded programs to deny services and accommodations. Um, so yeah, I feel like that's the biggest key issue right now that everyone is kind of facing.
Yeah.
Um,
And so,
it's kind of scary for us because what happens if it does go away? We don't have IEPs in schools. Our disability departments on college campuses won't exist. So like, what are we gonna do in terms of accessibility and stuff like that?
no, it is scary. And for anybody who may be listening to this and
Mhm.
this is the first time they're hearing about this lawsuit and the first time that they're hearing about potential limitations to 504, how can they get involved?
Um, I would tell them to email our attorney general's office, and basically just say that you want the lawsuit to be dropped because it's important for everyone to have um, equal rights and to have the accessibility that we all deserve and need.
Absolutely. And we will include a link on this podcast for people to get more information on that because I agree it is definitely at this exact moment in history a very big deal and it's on everyone, the disability community's mind. And it should be on all of our minds. Um, so what advice would you give individuals with disabilities who are looking to become more involved in their own advocacy journey, or even to pursue the passions that they have? What advice would you give?
I would say um, join advocacy organizations. That's always the first step. Maybe finding someone that you know that's into advocacy and asking like, "Hey, what is this actually about?" It sounds scarier than it actually is, but like everything else, if you have a supportive team, um, everything moves smoothly. Um, Two that I can think of is obviously the National Federation of the Blind and then the Association of People with Disabilities.
Okay. What about someone who has a disability and they love to sing or dance or write or whatever it is, and they have felt intimidated about starting to walk in those dreams and that passion? What advice would you give them?
Um, I guess we'll have to quote Nike and say, just do it. Like I said, finding the National Federation of the Blind and the Association of People with Disabilities, they they're organizations that will have people there that can guide you through, um, you know, walk you through the steps. The National Federation of the Blind of Florida, for example, we have a student division. And so all the blind or low vision students in Florida um, can come to our division and we'll, guide you through the steps of how to advocate for yourself in schools, maybe eh, advocating for yourself in, your own personal life. Like, hey, excuse me, I don't really know how to make this Word document accessible. Do you guys know how to? Stuff like that. Um, and so just reaching out, it doesn't hurt. There's never a dumb question. So reaching out to any organization that you please and asking, hey, like I'm really interested in this. How can I get more involved? And just taking off from there.
Yeah. So, how can community leaders and allies better support the disability community and help create a more inclusive society?
So for community leaders, I would say maybe partnering if your mission and um, another organization that is into advocacies missions align, partnering together to do a collab event. October is Blind Achievement Equality Month, for example, and so maybe a community leader in a organization is specializes in helping people with disabilities, especially targeted towards blindness. You can partner with National Federation of the Blind or National Federation of the Blind of Florida or wherever the organization is, and maybe do a Blind Equality Achievement Month event, um, whether it's beat baseball or um, doing a dining in the dark event or something like that. I know that's a little bit of a touchy situation, the dining in the dark, but I don't know, you can make anything accessible. You can, there's a sport called goalball um, that is primarily for blind um, individuals. So maybe those two organizations or entities can partner together to teach people how to play, stuff like that.
I love that. So, the goal ball, um, is it can both people that are blind and people that are not play that game at the same time?
Yes. So it was it actually came about way back when it was for veterans, and so the blind community kind of adapted it because you are on a basketball court, for example. Everyone is blindfolded, and we're basically using our senses and our bodies to block the ball that is about 8 pounds, and it has bells kind of um, you block it with your bodies. So there'll be three people on each side of the court kind of in a defense mode, ready to block the ball with our bodies to prevent it from getting into the goal. So it's really fun. I don't know if you guys are able to link a video to it as well. I can probably send you a video, but it's fascinating. A lot of people are really into it once you get to know it.
One, I will definitely would love for you to send me a video that I can link into this podcast. But
Yeah.
I'm also super interested in having a game like with a group that would be interested in partnering with us and having a fun tournament. Um,
There's a national organization that has to do with blind sports. There's blind beatball, blind baseball, there's goalball, there's soccer, there's um, and many other ones that I can't think of right now. So every year they actually have a national tournament, and I think this year's is going to be in California. But on like state levels, everyone on state levels they have a team. Not all states have it, but Florida has a boys and girls team, and a few other states do, and so they'll travel to other states to compete against each other. Um, so I think we're actually in go ball season right now. So once that started, um, that'd be really cool for someone to follow along on their website and see where the next tournament's gonna be.
yeah, no, absolutely. Like if you could send me any of those links, I will definitely include whatever you send so
Yeah.
people can take a look. Um, So, what are your goals in terms of education? Like after you get your, it's MSW, right? Masters in Social
Master in
Work.
social work. Yeah.
Yeah. So after you graduate, what's your next?
After I graduate, my plan is to either work in the child and families realm of the world, whether it's through adoption agencies or the placement program, or kinship, which is once. the child is removed from the home. Instead of placing them directly into foster care, they are placed with a relative or trusted caregiver. So um, I either want to work in that realm or school social work, or I'd like to work in the Safe Baby program in the hospitals, which is basically the person that uh, gives the mom, the do's and don'ts after the baby's born.
So I definitely hear a theme though of babies and children.
Yes. I am also going to be doing a field placement again next or this fall coming up for my master's. And so I've also added the homeless population and women in wellness to my list as well. So I'm kind of all over the place. That's why I chose social work because it's such a broad field that I can wiggle in anything.
That's your education side. Do you have any goals or future plans for your musical pursuits?
Uh, so I created a YouTube channel back in 2020 when COVID started because I was bored. And I was like, well, I guess I'll do some covers of songs and post it. And so last year I started posting a little bit more, but again have slacked off on it. So maybe when I have more time, I could actually do some more covers with friends, and start posting more on the YouTube channel. There's some videos up there now, but maybe I'll start posting more and get a wider, excuse me, a wider audience.
Yeah. Also, we'd love for you to send us that link as well, and I'll include that in the podcast. So lastly, what is one message that you would like to leave with our listeners about the importance of inclusion and accessibility, um, and just celebrating the diverse talents of individuals with disabilities?
I would say, hmm, I would say don't underestimate anybody, no matter on what disability they have. It's always best to ask questions first. So it's it's always good to ask questions first and assume later. I think a lot of people in the disability community as a whole can agree that it's it's better for us if you come up and ask, "Hey, can I ask about your story?" versus just staring at us because it's uneasy and it's kind of weird. So, um, and for like the talents, don't be afraid to show your talent, whether you're a dancer or you're a gymnast or you're a football player or a singer, guitarist, whatever talent you have, maybe you're even an artist, whatever talent you have, don't be afraid to show it.
Yeah, that's good. That's so good. Well, thank you, Zaleah, so much for coming on and just sharing about your advocacy journey and your education and your musical pursuits. One also exciting thing is that we will be having Zaleah at our fashion show that's coming up in May 3rd. She's going to be one of our soloists for the opening number. So if y'all are interested in hearing her beautiful voice, you can definitely find her there next. But Zaleah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. If I may add, I wanted to add one more thing
Sure.
to the question on, I guess, the community leaders and allies. If any of the organizations that you're a part of is a non-for-profit and wants to find a organization to partner with, again, American Association of People with Disabilities, or even National Federation of the Blind of Florida, or as a whole, we're always open to donations because through your donations, you're going to help us expand in our missions and help get more future advocates out there.
Absolutely. And yes, we will absolutely put, again, that link and a space for people if they want to donate, or even if they want to volunteer. That's definitely a way to help support the blind community.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And even I know that for National Federation of the Blind, you don't have to be blind to be a member of the federation as well. So if you are passionate about advocating and you want to help in any way, we're more than happy to have you on board.
thank you for joining us on Talking Inclusivity with the Hive. We hope the stories shared inspire and empower you. Remember, Every voice matters, and every action can make a difference. If you haven't gotten the chance to listen to the About Us episode, a link will be provided in the show notes. Learn more about the Hive's journey for inclusive housing in Tampa. If what you hear resonates within you, join the movement. Hit subscribe and join our tribe. Let's continue to build a world where inclusion is the norm.